So here's the deal. How do you find your passion minus your resume, minus wasting more time, minus doubting yourself? How do you get to the precise thing that lights you up, your zone of genius, your greatest potential? In today's video, I'm going to take you through the 7 steps of how to find that thing that sparks light in you and just moves you to the core. I mean, I've taught people who are accountants, who are professors at universities, mums at home, students at high school, and those who have graduated university and they don't know what to do. I've taught them all how to find your passion, and today you're going to find the same trick. So here is the first step. The first step in finding your passion is looking at your personality traits. Now, before you yawn and think, what? Your personality traits are so important because it's the identity of who you are, your natural gravitation towards what is it that sparks you. It's very important to look at what top 3 personality traits describe who you are. Not who your mum thinks, not who your dad thinks, not who your neighbor thinks, not who your best friend thinks, not who a co-worker thinks of you. How would you describe yourself in 3 words? That's how you will get drilled down to the top 3 things that describe who you are. And I also want to take a look at your values. And your values are nothing more than what's important to you. What specifically is important to you? Is it family? Is it security? Is it health? Is it wealth? Is it your family? What are the things that are important to you? And you want to write about 3 to 5 things, because your values are the non-negotiables. Because you could find a great career, a great job, but if they conflict with what's most important to you, then you're going to have anxiousness, you're going to have anxiety, you're going to have overwhelm, you'll have the great career, the great work, but you will be conflicted and you won't know why. And that's because you're really coming against the things that matter most to you. So as long as you can write down from the get-go what's important, and don't let it swirl in your head. Write it down on paper, because when you write it down on paper, it makes it concrete and it makes you know that that's what it is. So you're not going to be in mid-air trying to think about things. Get it on paper, because that's when you know that you're serious and your brain can focus rather than going from here to there and getting into overwhelm. So top 3 personality traits, and then the top 3 to 5 values. What's important to you? Write them down. Go. The third thing you want to look into are what are your hobbies, skills, and talents. Now that's really important because it's going to give you insight into what gets you in the zone or the flow, or when time flies really fast. That's what we're really trying to get with in this question. So I want you to make a list of what do you do when you're not working? Like, what lights you up? What are your hobbies, skills, or talents? And a talent is not something that someone has complimented you to say you've got a talent. Talent is something that you just genuinely enjoy, whether someone compliments you or not. It brings enjoyment to you. So look at any hobby, any skill, any talent, write down 3. And the reason you want to pick 3 is because you need focus. You could pick 15, you could pick 100, but that's not going to get you focused. You're going to pick your top 3 that you enjoy doing. And then next to each of those, you want to write why. Why do you enjoy doing the things you enjoy doing? Why do you enjoy reading as a hobby? Why do you enjoy going for a bike ride as if it's a hobby? If you like calligraphy, why do you enjoy calligraphy? What are the hobby, skills, and talents? And it's most important that you write next to them the reasons why you enjoy doing each activity. Because the why is the part where it gives you insight. It gives you insight as to your emotions, what triggers you, what are the words, what are the feelings that you, because any action we take, any activity we do is because we derive a certain feeling from it. And the feeling that you derive from your hobbies, skills, and talents is enjoyment. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it. So we're trying to get to the core of what are the feelings, the triggers, the emotions that you gravitate towards. But it takes these activities, your hobby, skills, and talents, to get to these emotions. So make a list, and next to each one, write why. The 4th thing that you want to do is you want to take a look at, well, what did you enjoy doing as a kid? What did you enjoy doing that, once again, you just pretty much enjoyed it because it took you into a state of flow, where time didn't matter, where you got lost in the activity? Did you play with trucks? Did you play with dolls? Did you play with the next door neighbors? Did you play acting like a teacher? Did you draw on the board? What did you do as a kid that you enjoyed doing? 3 activities, and why? And the why column, once again, is really important because the questions are just trying to get you to focus on the emotions that get you into a state of flow, where time is not even an issue. And by asking that question, we're just trying to get to this. So your why column is really important. So next to the 3 activities that you enjoyed doing as a kid, ask the question, why did I do it? And keep asking the question why until you can't ask it anymore. So why did you enjoy going fishing as a kid? Because it was time alone. It was time alone with your mum or your dad, because you enjoyed the water, because you enjoyed catching a fish, because that gave you happiness, because that gave you something to eat in the evening. Like, what was the reasons why you enjoyed what you did? Because by really going and asking why, like really going to the nth degree, and you can't ask why any further, that will get you to the bare bones of what really brings you alive. And those are the emotions that we want to bring out. We want to extrapolate from what's inside of you so we can get to the core of what moves you. So 3 things you did in a kid, and then the reasons why next to them. And number 5, how do you aspire to have a contribution like in the world? Okay, because we've looked at your past, what you did as a kid. We've looked at what, you got you into a state of flow. We've looked at what currently occupies your time with your hobbies, skills, and talents. Now we want to look into the future and see, well, what is your aspiration? Because every human being wants to live a life of significance and to know that they have mattered, that they know that they have done something, whether it's something so small or something so huge, but they have done something to be of significance, to be of value. And this question is going to get you to direct your thinking towards, well, what is that value for you? How do you know you will add value? Based on how you measure what value is for yourself. So you want to look at with this question, who or what do you aspire to have a contribution like? So in other words, I want you to pick someone who you know or you don't know, but you would love to have a contribution like them. Someone like your grandmother, if you aspire to have a contribution like them, maybe a CEO of a company, maybe an author, maybe a storyteller, someone. Or if you can't think of someone, think of an industry like the fashion industry or the environment or the IT, whatever industry it is. You can have a combination of people and industries, but you need to pick 3. And once again, the reason why we drill down to 3 is because 3 allows the mind to focus. Any more than that, it gets distracting. You can argue there could be more, but we just want to focus on 3 things, 3 people or professions, industries that you aspire to have a contribution like. And next to each one of those 3 things that you write, the reasons why. Why do you aspire to have a contribution like this person? Why do you aspire to have a contribution in this industry? Because at the end of the day, life is emotion. Why do you want a big goal? Why do you want children? Why do you want a family? Why do you want that career? Why do you want to wear that dress? Why do you want to go to that holiday? Because it's going to give you a certain emotion, happiness, joy, something. It's going to give you an emotion. And all we're trying to do with this section of why is get to the emotions, the feelings, the triggers, the words that give you the state of flow. But we're asking these questions to direct us into what are these emotions specifically that have you become alive. So pick 3 things, people or professions, a mixture of 2 of them is fine. And next to each of them, write why. Why do you choose those things? And write down the bottom in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. What are you thinking? What are you writing down? Because the more you're able to project what it is that you're wanting, the more things start to move in that direction. So in the comment section below, tell me, people or professions or industries, where do you hope to have an influence? Where do you hope to have a contribution? Let me know in the comments below. Step 6. What I want you to do in step 6 is look at your why column. And I want you to look at what are the repeated words? What are the repeated emotions that have come through? And you want to be able to group that. You want to group what are the words, the triggers, the emotions, the phrases that are repeated that have the same meaning for you in that why column alone. And you want to put them in groups as to the triggers. Well, I enjoy going outdoors, or I enjoy speaking to people, or I enjoy working in a routine environment. Those are the things that are going to come up for you. Like the why column is really going to unearth what it is that brings you into a state of flow, because all we've done is just gone into yourself, gone into your own space, your own history, and brought out through those questions, what is it specifically that lights you up? And by looking at your why column now, you're simply circling the words, phrases, emotions that jump out at you and have jumped out repeatedly. You're putting those into groups and looking at, well, these are the emotions that speak loudest the most to me. Step 7, and the final part of how to find your passion, is you want to look at, well, now that you've got all the whys, the 3 groups of whys as to what are the emotions that really liven you up, what are the professions that feed into those whys? And this is where the rubber meets the road, because this is where you actually turn a passion into a profession, and you can actually see the end goal here. It's not just fragments of words now. You want to look at the 3 sections of whys, the 3 groups of whys that you've written down, and now you want to get really real and say, well, what professions feed into those whys? What professions feed into those things, the emotions that speak loudest to me? Because usually when you pick a job or career, you think, okay, so, what looks good? What's going to get me more money? What's going to get me a good job in terms of my marks that I got from school? What's going to give me a better prestige or recognition? That's all good. But the problem with coming at from that perspective is you kind of feel empty, because you still haven't become fulfilled in something that really speaks to your soul, that fills up your full potential. But by working it or reverse engineering it, which is what we're doing now, we're not coming from what do I want? It's like, what do I give from what I have innately within me? Like, what value can I give that's already within me, which is just God-given because of the strengths that you have, because of the emotions that you feel. Is you want to come from a place of, well, looking at the emotions that I have, that I thrive on, that take me into a state of flow, what professions feed into those actual emotions? What professions, what jobs, what careers? And now you just want to make a brainstorm of all the careers, all the jobs that you can think of that feed. It's very, very important that you do this part, that feed into those emotions. And then once you do that, the last part is, of those professions, which one speaks to you the loudest? This is where people go, now I know why I do what I do. Now I know why I feel what I feel. Now I know why I'm triggered by that. Now I know why this doesn't make... You start to learn about yourself in this final part, because it's really the brainstorming of feeding your emotions that have already triggered and sparked life in you. And you're just trying to find those professions that speak to it the loudest. So if you'd like a deeper dive into the 7 steps, I've attached below a PDF of the 7 steps of how to find your passion minus your resume. I've taken an accountant and she's switched her career around to finding finally that her real drive, her real passion has been working with kids. I've taken a university professor and she's come to the realization that her real passion in life wasn't being a university and teaching there, but actually being a writer and an author, which is what she did. So if those resonate with you and you'd like to have a deeper dive, then go straight to the PDF below. It's exactly what I've communicated in this video, but in much deeper steps, because, well, there's more time in a PDF, really. So now you have the 7 steps. You know exactly how to find your passion minus your resume. But what about actually pursuing the career, pursuing the job? How do you actually get the job now from this passion? So in the next video, I'm going to take you through exactly the ideal job quiz. So my next video is going to show you exactly, well, how do you really decipher between going for this position or that position, or going from right or left, or taking the path A or path B, which is going to be the right one for you, because there are so many things you could be good at. There are so many things you could be wanting to do. But what can you do right now? What's the best decision, the next best move for you? That's what the next video is going to be about. So stay tuned for that video coming up. And if you like this video, please let me know by liking it below, comment and share. Tell me exactly what specifically you took out from this video, what helped you the most, and I'd love to be able to jump into the conversation. If you've got any questions, please let me know by adding it to the comments right below. And if you haven't already, make sure you check out the videos, Should I Quit My Job to Pursue My Passion? How to Find the Right Career for Me. So make sure you check out those videos. They're linked below as well. They're both going to help you get really clear and gain insight and navigate into that thing that lights you up the most. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'd love to hear from you from the comments below of what you took out. And please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the very next video.